This conference will now be recorded.
Second. All right. We'll call the meeting to order. And let's do, since we can't really do the pledge, everybody has a flag around them. So let's do a moment of silence for everybody affected by COVID-19 coronavirus. All right. Our first item on the agenda is public comment. I don't know if there's any public on to comment, but does anybody want to make a public comment? Okay. So then we'll just do cool in order. We'll do department head reports. Let's see, I see Robin on. Robin, did you figure out how to mute yourself?
Well, yeah, but you had me muted.
Oh, yeah, I know. I did it for you. So.
Well, then don't yell at me if I'm not responding. Okay. Well, needless to say, our call volume is increasing.
That's good.
Now that people are whatever. Quite frankly, today we could have used the third ambulance. Right now we have Campbell mutilating us because we had a car versus bus just a few minutes ago. And we could have pulled that third crew, but we'll say we have no rig. That being said, I'm wondering if we put that out for bid yet, like it was said it was going to be.
Not sure on that.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I thought so. So I take it nobody knows the answer. All right. I talked with MedX this week because of a different issue, and just so that you're all aware, it is a 3-year contract that we have with them.
Right.
And I do have a question. When we originally were going to do this billing and stuff, the payment for MedX was supposed to come out of the revenue coming in, correct?
Correct, yes.
So why is it I'm signing the department head to pay for MedX's charges?
Yeah, it's kind of like a nuance of how they do it, right? They give us all the money and then they bill us for their fee instead of just taking their fee out of what they give us.
So you're saying us as in EMS or us as in village?
Well, the village EMS department, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, because originally we thought that it was going to be taken out of what was brought in, so therefore I wouldn't have to sign anything on that end. But
right, yeah, instead of taking it off the top, they're giving us the full amount and then billing us, being the village, for their fee. So I mean, it comes out to be the same either way, but just kind of more paperwork that way for us. But.
Did you get the copy of the budget that we came up with?
I did. So we are going to have to start having budget meetings coming up. So that will be helpful for that.
Say what?
I said we're going to have to start having budget meetings because we have to get a budget around before July here. So that's helpful. We will be going through that for sure here the next couple of weeks.
Okay, now that agreement with Sander, has that been signed and sent?
That's a good question. Yeah, Nate, you know if that's ready to go?
As I recall, I think I looked at it and we had no issues with it, right?
Right.
I mean, they made all the changes that we'd asked for.
Right. So we will make sure.
So it just needs to be signed.
I'll take note of it. I'll make sure with Tim and Cindy that we get it over to them.
That would be good. And we still have not received anything in the OE Inc. for the money from the county, from Tioga.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed we haven't got the fire contract yet, funny, so. Sorry, that's part of our revenue.
I was gonna say, fire department used theirs, but we don't see ours, so that's what we're wondering.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out why we haven't got that money in yet.
And have we put any of those other ambulances on the chopping block yet or not?
Not as far as I know, other than just making a list, you know. So,
Okay. Well, at this point, you have not sent out any thing to try and get quotes for the free chassis. Is that what you're saying?
correct, not to my knowledge yet.
Okay, so what are we waiting for?
Not much really. We just have to do it and get we gotta figure out all the budget stuff coming up too, so. In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna figure all that out, I'm sure.
All right. And I talked with Jim Morris about that washer and where we were talking about possibly placing it. We also discovered that there's a gas line that goes behind where we were originally going to put the washer that we could hook up the dryer that we're going to purchase. And I called him, texted him to try and get his approval on where to put this stuff. I'm not getting any response. So if anybody's got any pull, I'd greatly appreciate it, because we have a guy that's willing to do that for us, but we are not getting an answer from him.
Okay,
He said something about being the fact that it's a museum back there or whatever, because we have to be able to drill into the wall to put a vent for the dryer. And if he wants it downstairs, that too has to be done. So I need answers so we can move ahead with the washer and the dryer.
okay.
And as far as I know, Jeff Van Wagen called me today, and there's going to be some equipment over in the fire station parking lot to do the repairs that they need to do. And I believe that's going to be tomorrow.
Okay. I
So
know,
everybody's aware.
I know the chief called me yesterday, and there was a bunch of water in Central Station. When he opened the door, it ran out.
Yes.
We got to figure out that too. Jeff's not on
Yeah,
the call.
that's why.
I'll get a hold of him and figure out what's leaking again. Something from the roof. We had all that rain.
Everything was. Yes. Then we have more to come. So.
Yeah.
But like I said, our call volume is starting to pick. One of our sister agencies did do the proper PPE. Actually, two of our fellow agencies did not use proper PPE and ended up taking a patient that tested positive. So we have members of other agencies that are now quarantined as a result of the. So we're gonna, do our best to answer all the calls with the two ambulances, but one of them is gonna be getting repaired.
Right.
Here in I think it was supposed to be today, but apparently, I don't know if it got done already or not, but we've got two ambulances out now. But the sooner we get those bids out, the better. Now that, things are picking up, we're gonna need that third ambulance.
All right. Yeah, I was going to show just for the board. So I figured out how to get the medics reports, so everybody can see the COVID-19 dip. Right. This is PCRs, which is basically billable calls. You see where it really dropped off there in March and April. So hopefully it picks back up here.
Yeah.
I mean, you have better data, more accurate, up to date than I do. This is the end of April, so I'm a month behind. But
Yeah, I did. I talked with her about the billing issue, and she said that she had talked to you and Nate a few months ago about what was going to be needed to be done so that we were getting that revenue. I told her to shoot you another email.
Yep, I was able to get on their system and I ran some numbers. This is August through April. We've had 471 billed calls. Out of those 471, 354 have paid something, whether it's $1 or $2,000. So that's 75%. There's 175 open accounts, which is 37% of the volume that they're still, whether they're ran the call, right before they ran the report or the beginning of time. So I did check into the number of people that got paid from the insurance company and kept the check. I could only find 3, which totaled like $4,000. So I think they closed a lot of those out.
Yes, leaving us with no revenue.
Yeah, I don't know what they did, but I only found 3 open accounts right now where that was the case. So that's a good thing. That means, more insurance companies are directly paying us. So that's always a good
Well,
thing.
there's supposed to be a legislation being passed here soon, and we're praying for that, where it requires 2 signatures. One from you guys on the check and one from the actual person receiving a check, so that this can't continue.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea. Just overall in general for everything.
Yep, that's the goal that we're all praying for hurries up and goes through, so that this is not a continued issue.
For the hospitals would love that too. So.
Well, when you think about it, you go to the office, it gets paid directly to the insurance company or whoever. It just seems to be the ambulances that these insurance companies are sending the checks to the actual people themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure why. But we are, at least from the reports, we're getting less of that. We're getting more direct bills, which is good. So hopefully that pattern continues.
That's mostly Medicaid and Medicare anyway.
Yeah, we're getting both of those now, which is good.
Well, that's pretty much all, other than the fact that, just so that you're all aware, the county is at 95% certain that they are not going to have any fall EMT classes or any other refresher classes due to budget cuts. I don't know if you can shoot out a letter to Marty there, that's in charge of all that, and see if we can't, the village can't express the fact that that's taking away from our training in our area. Because right now, that means that anybody that's interested has to go to Broome County.
Right.
And that's going to hurt us bad.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll see.
Because right now I had. Yes, you can send something out to them.
Is that emergency management that manages that?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, we can tag up with them and see what's going on.
Yeah, because right now we'll have no fall classes at all at this point. So anybody that needs to refresh or anything else, if they don't have access to being able to go to Broome County, we're screwed.
Right. All right.
That's pretty much all I got. Nope, that's all I got.
All right. Let's see. Who else? I think Tracy's the only one on. Tracy, we can do your stuff? Clear off some stuff off the agenda too.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep.
The first thing I had was I'd sent out an email to everybody in regards to Dirk Mosier taking and passing the wastewater certification exam. So now he's a licensed 3A operator like myself at the plant. So I just was wanted to make everybody aware of that and congratulate Dirk for that. It's quite an accomplishment. Pass rate is very slim on that, so he did a superb job. And I was hoping to get a motion to give Dirk a $2.50 per hour raise.
I would make a motion that we give Dirk Mosier $2.50 an hour raise on the next pay period due to his education that he's just received.
I second.
Let's see, I gotta get my thing out here. Any discussion on that? I mean, that's great. He passed, especially the first time. It's kind of unheard of from what I hear.
Yeah,
I
it's
do,
really unheard of.
I do want to point out that we did pay for the education, so it would be smart to keep him on board and not just have him go off somewhere else for the money.
Yeah, I know that's a big training too. I mean,
Absolutely.
All right, so should we vote on this? We have a motion and a second. We'll start with Laura,
Yes.
and let's see, Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
and yes from me. Did I miss anybody, right?
No.
No edge yet. Nope. All right, Tracy, go ahead.
The other thing I have, Mayor, I didn't know if you were going to bring up the discussion on removal of the digester scum layer, or if that was something I was supposed to be bringing up as far as having to make a motion to go into contract with Dixon Environmental for that.
Yeah, we can talk about that now if you want to just give a little recap of it.
It all comes back to the phase 2 project. The general contractor had in the original bid documents and spec book, it called out that the general contractor would remove all sludge, grit, rags, and debris from the digesters. There was a RFI during the bid process, and when that was answered, it said that it would be a unknown amount that would need to be removed, but minimal. And the general contractor on site is saying that the 6 foot of material that's left between the two digesters is not minimal. So they're asking for they first asked for a change order, quite a large change order to remove it. Then they come to the village and made a proposal that if they pay for the pumping and labor to get it out, if the village would pay a 30-cent per gallon charge to transport and dispose it of the material. And we had a discussion with Nate and yourself, Mayor, and Ron and the VCA, and decided that that's probably our best option. I was able to go back to Dixon Environmental and get the 30 cents negotiated down to 26 cents per gallon charge. So I guess, need to get a motion to go forward or discuss it, or
We don't know. You want to?
Tracy,
This is Rusty.
yeah.
so it's gonna be 26 a gallon. Do we have an approximate idea of how many gallons and how much this is gonna be?
Right now, the volume left in the digesters right now, Rusty, is about 37,000 gallons. One issue with this whole thing is being very information on how much water is going to have to be added to dilute the scum layer to pump it out. The the general contractor on site, since he's done several of them, and you only need to add 1,000 to 2,000 gallons of water. Now, Dixon Environmental, the company that's going to be the ones doing it, he's saying that you could assume to double that volume that's there. So, we're hearing anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 to another 37,000 gallons of water that's going to have to get added.
Let's get it up to about 20 grand.
If we do 50,000 gallons, that's going to be about $13,000. But that is saving $2,000 with what Tracy has renegotiated. That's 50,000. That we don't know the end result, so it's all a guesstimation game. It's at least 37,000 gallons now.
No.
So I would move that we approve Dixon Environmental for this contract for 26 cents a gallon to empty out the digesters.
I second.
Okay, we could have a discussion on it. There really is, I mean, I know we talked with Nate and Tracy and Ron and everybody already on this. There's kind of, the problem is, we really, in my mind, shouldn't be paying for any of this, but we would have to fight them on that. There's some question of what is minimal, what does minimal mean? We probably would spend more than this fighting it, you know what I mean?
Right, that was my concern. I mean, we're going to spend more than 13,000 if we go to arbitration or possibly litigation in the long run. I mean, right or wrong, it's going to make the process go quicker, and who knows how the arbitration would end, in our favor or not.
And folks, this is Nate. Just to chime in, most likely, if we had to rethink, if anyone's wondering, if we had to rethink the bidding process as to how we would have bid this, we probably would have bid it on a unit allocation. So we would have asked for quotes of a per gallon or per 1,000 gallon cost for them to do the work. So that way, no matter how much was in there, whatever was in there, they would just do it at that unit rate. But that wasn't done, 2 years ago, whenever this was. And so I think this is arriving at that type of an outcome that we would have likely picked from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. We, like you say, it would have been put in a contract as a unit price to remove it, and then that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to tell how much you're gonna have to remove until you are removing it, So,
Right. Exactly.
does anybody have any other discussion on it? Rusty, you got any ideas?
No, I don't have any ideas. I'm
I don't either.
not in love with the fact that every single time one of these things comes up, it's, the specs weren't right, the definition wasn't right, but we gotta eat it. And it just seems like that can't be something done about it. I'm just complaining about it. It seems to be happening over and over.
Yeah, 10,000 here, 20,000 there.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have anything? Fran, Charles, Laura?
No.
All right. I guess let's vote on this. This is to approve Dixon Environmental to haul away at 26 cents a gallon. Right, Tracy? That's the right number.
Correct. That's the right number.
Yeah, they're who we usually use to do this kind of thing. They're the only ones that can do it. Laura?
Yes.
Fran?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes, sir.
Rusty?
Yes.
And yes for me. 6-0. All right. What else, Tracy?
The other thing is actually down the the agenda a little bit, but I didn't know if we wanted to cover that while I was on too, as far as the motion to accept the low bar as the low bidder for the disinfection project.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. I have it open here somewhere. All right, so I know we have a representative from Hunt, but here's the letter that we received about the bids. So we had a bid opening. Low bar was the lowest bid for the disinfection project. That's $770,000. And an alternate number one, which was use of the tunnel to transport materials in case the access road isn't there. And that they bid $100 for that. So I don't know, does Hunt, I know you guys are on, do you have anything to add or say, or? Want to copy that, Randy? Yep. Yes. All right, Tracy, you have anything?
I guess the only thing I might ask, Mayor, is with the grants we've got on this and stuff, this has come in quite a large chunk under the grants. And one thing was brought up that possibly if there was something else we could do at the plant or needed done at the plant, we could look at getting that added to this, you know, since we already had more money available. And Blaze and I had discussed it and come up with the idea of possibly the generator and transfer switches, which we've been having issues with. I believe that, you know, even Jerry Sibberly discussed that some with the board when he was here. So they are looking into that.
Okay.
Just wanted to put that out there. We're hoping to get that added into this, like I say, with the bids coming in under the grant money that we've already received for this project. So
Yeah, so we've received, for this specific project, we've received 1 million, well, we haven't received it yet, but we have an award for $1,175,000 in grant money from 2 different grants. So that's definitely a good thing.
Well, like I say, we are looking into that. You know, that would be I guess it would be a change order to this, you know, and added on to this. So that is something that we're exploring at this time.
I mean, I think that's a good idea.
And that would still fall within the grant guidelines?
Peter Martin did reach out to EFC and they wanted a few more details, but they felt very confident that it would fall into all the guidelines and everything with these grants.
Perfect, thank you.
So we're not risking, if we accept this, we're not risking the possibility that they won't let us have the rest of that. We think we can add that on.
From what I understood, correct. That wouldn't be an issue accepting this and then getting that added.
So Peter from Hunt, you've been listening to us on this.
I think he's still on there.
You're on there, Peter?
I don't know if his.
Is he muted?
Can you unmute him,
Let
man?
me see.
Any other?
Yeah, they're not on the audio though.
Okay,
I thought he was caller 1 when he spoke before. I thought it come up saying caller 1 was speaking.
Okay, let me try.
it's not that important.
Caller 1, are you there? Peter?
Can you hear me now?
You can, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so what was the question?
What was your question, Rusty?
Yeah, it wasn't really a question. It's just that we keep having so many change orders and things stuffed to us. So do this for 770. Don't put another change order in us like everybody else is doing. That's all.
I'm trying to avoid those. Yeah, it's not good to start out a project with a change order. But you're still well under the budget, starting out of the gate. So I think you're in a much better position.
Yeah,
And I
we're
did
definitely much-
mention to him that we were talking about possibly adding a generator and transfer switches to this. And it was brought up wondering if accepting the 770 would mess up the possibility to get that extra money towards that.
No, it shouldn't. All that money is money that's allocated towards you guys for this project. And so you have that as long as this project extends. If you want to expand beyond the original scope, you have to get some approvals. But the money you've already committed to that, and they can't just pull it away from you right now because you've got to see how the project plays out.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Peter? From Hunt? Do we have a motion yet? Oh yeah, we're waiting for Ron to make a motion.
I was just wondering Tracy's opinion on hiring Lobar for this.
I'm for hiring Lobar for this.
Okay, then I move that we would award Lobar the contract for the UV disinfection process.
I second.
Number 770,100. Yeah. All right, any more discussion on that? Should we vote on that? This is to award Lobar the contract. Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
and yes for me. One thing that I didn't put on the agenda is we still have to do, so our contract with Hunt is up through this point tonight. We need to do, the construction management. So we got 2 quotes for that, for the same project. One from Hunt Engineering, and their total cost, which they include construction management and then Municipal Solutions, who we've already been working with there on other projects. So for $112,541. We also got a quote from BCA for similar services, I guess. Maybe Tracy can talk to the difference in the services.
Well, the one from BCA was just for the construction management end, and that was for the $84,490. That didn't include the special inspections or the solutions company there. I forget their exact name. Oh, Mr. Solutions. So I recommend we go with Hunt for the construction management end of this as well.
Yeah, I would move that we would go with Hunt for the construction management side of the UV project.
This is Hunt's. So Hunt's includes Municipal Solutions, which is a paperwork kind of thing. They help us get the grants and negotiate through the grants and submit all the right paperwork and that kind of thing.
I believe they spoke previous to us in a actual physical meeting at one point about this company.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've been working with them, and they're a good company.
Yeah. And they're very good at getting grant opportunities for us.
Yeah, they know all the right paperwork to do.
Okay, I second the motion.
Okay. Any discussion about this sort of thing? To take the Hunt for $112,541. That includes all the testing and everything. And on-site construction management. So there's, if you look at line to line, their on-site construction management, 78,000 versus BCA was 86. 84, yeah.
Oh, you should see I'm on the TV.
So,
We're near them all together.
right. Right. You still have to do the other stuff, so.
Let's see.
All right, so should we vote on this? Laura,
Yes.
Fran? Oh, you're muted. I muted you, Fran, hang on. We're getting a lot of feedback. There you go, try now.
Yes.
Okay. Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty?
I give my proxy to Charles's dog. Yes.
And yes from me. You want the email? This is all I have from that. We probably have something. We figure out a print it, yeah, I'll print it for you. Anything else, Tracy?
That's all I have unless somebody has something for me.
I don't. Does anyone else have anything for Tracy?
Well, thank you for your time, Tracy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will be signing off and doing some other stuff then with my family. Enjoy the
All
evening.
right. Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See, we can discuss disinfection too. Okay. Yeah, Jeff's not on. We got a report from him. They've been busy. Doing DPW kind of stuff. Does anybody have any comments for Jeff? Pass along to him. My main one was just the firehouse when it rained. We gotta figure out what we gotta do there.
Can we go ahead and start working on that roof?
Yes. Yes, that's what we gotta do because it's where it's leaking.
Need to get some bids on that, right?
Yeah, we gotta figure out what we gotta do with that with the DRI. That's in my report. I got a little update on the DRI and the whole COVID-19 state budget thing. Luckily, it sounds okay, but we'll see. And we are supposed to be doing the roof on 90 Temple Street, the police station, soon. We're doing that out of last year's extra money. So they were supposed to do that last week, but then I think the weather didn't cooperate, so I don't know when they're doing it, but it's soon, next couple weeks here, I think. So. All right, let's see. Fire chief is not on. I know they just got a couple calls. Rusty?
I have some fire stuff, not
Okay.
very much. And of course, the first thing was that roof leaked way more than we realized, and we need to get after that roof. That made a terrible mess in that station everywhere. So we need to get out of that roof. The other news from the fire chief is that their elections have been postponed at least a month, and the current officers will hold their offices till they're done. And I assume that same thing has happened to some degree for the squad. Robin, I don't know if you're there, but I assume the squad hasn't had their elections yet, but we'll be having them whenever.
Yes, we are postponed.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
So that's it for the fire.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's do, we'll jump into police after that.
Mr. Mayor,
Rusty?
I have 3 things from the police, in no particular order. Jake Meehan is going to be done in the police department. He's one of our part-time officers, been there quite some time, and he will be done the 29th of May, and will be moving south and having a full-time police officer position. I I'd like to thank him on behalf of the village and the village's residents for the work he has done for these number of years, and we appreciate it, and good luck to you down south in your full-time job.
Yeah, no, Jake's been a good asset to the department, so.
Second, John Burkhardt, one of our part-time officers who is a retired full-time police officer, has been working for $22.50 an hour. In general, we pay the retired officers with considerable experience $25 an hour. We may have overlooked that with him. So I would like to make a motion that we raise John Burkhardt's part-time salary upon the chief. This is going to be on the chief's recommendation, that we raise John Burkhardt's salary from $22.50 an hour to $25 an hour.
I second that motion.
I don't know if that's Charles or Laura, but both of them did it.
I am definitely not Charles.
That was me.
Briefly in discussion of that motion, whatever glitch there was on that, there's no problem for any back pay. There's no problem.
Yeah, he's not asking for that. Yeah.
Having not been paid that, he was paid what he was told. We probably passed a motion in the past to pay him that. So there will be no retroactive money. It will just start this pay period. That's in the discussion on the motion.
Any other discussion on that? Or should we vote on that since we have a motion?
Mayor, I think Rusty just said it would start the next pay period, but I think the motion should include exactly what pay period we're talking about.
Do we know? We gotta ask Rodney when they get paid.
So that motion will have in it that it will have started
A week from Thursday will be the 28th. So
a week from Thursday is when they get paid. Today's the 18th.
Yep.
Let's get paid every 2 weeks.
yeah,
Let's start it if it's the 11th, let's start at Monday the 11th, retroactively through that 2 weeks of that pay period, which will end on the 24th, being paid on the 28th.
Right.
Understand?
so,
Yeah.
effective.
With those additions, I second that.
That's going to be, and we draw the other motion. This is part of the motion.
Okay,
So it will have started Monday 11th,
retroactively.
retroactive.
That's good, Nate.
Nate, working for you?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so now let's vote on it. Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
and yes for me.
One more thing. Obviously, we always need as many part-time officers as we can get that will work for us. The chief has recommended an officer from Endicott who has 36 years of experience, who will be retiring at the end of the month. And he has asked if we would hire him part-time. His name is John Vanek, V-A-N-E-K. I said 36 years experience. He also has a K9 and K9 access, which we may be able to use down the line. But that's not anything we're going to do now. And I move that we hire John Vanek part-time at $25 an hour.
I second that.
I think he would be a good addition to the department, especially comes with his dog. That's a nice thing.
Great experience. Dog thing is, I'm not going to get into
That's a
detail,
bonus.
but this could be a good thing. He has not that this matters. It's not a attack dog. It's a sniffing dog. This is a good dog, good use, et cetera, which we may need in the future.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Any discussion on that? All right, so let's vote on that. Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes,
And yes, from me.
that's everything from the chief.
All right, that's all departments. Well, clerk's office, everything?
We just need transfers.
Transfers. All right, so we should do the transfers next. Everybody get those this time? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the transfers?
I motion we approve those transfers as long as nobody who just spoke up has a problem.
No, it's just Rusty trying to make a motion.
Okay.
Fine, second.
Does anybody have any questions, discussion for Rodney about them? They're mainly just to, you know, even out everybody's budgets right now at this point in the year. All right, so we'll vote. Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes,
and yes. All right. Next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. So, like usual, I did my I went through the treasurer's report and I did my analysis of it. And everything is tracking. I don't know if I still have it up. I don't. I can open it though. Everything is tracking right on, kind of right on par. So we're supposed to be at 75%. Clerk's way under, and everybody else is pretty much right on par.
Okay, so the revenue received for the EMS is 322, 357.
No, it says 201. That's what we projected was a 322 for the year. So we're at 201 right now.
That's what we've received.
Yep. So there, I mean, it's coming along. As good as can be expected, I think. Does anybody have any questions about the treasurer's report?
move to accept.
Rusty's moving to accept it.
I'll
I
second that.
second.
Okay.
I'm going with
Beat you, Laura.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Went with Ron on that one. All right, we'll take a vote. Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes,
and yes. All right, moving along. Next item is board meeting minutes of May 4th.
Mayor, before I motion.
Okay.
I've talked to Rodney, there's one little thing that he's gonna change on it, that just about the pump in the underpass.
Oh,
I know,
okay.
Just a little more, just more
Gotcha.
detail on that, so just so you know. Want that in the motion.
Okay.
I guess I'll move that, to approve the minutes with that. I'll change.
Okay, I'll
Second
second
that.
with a clarification of the underpass comment.
All right. Anybody have any discussion about the minutes? I assume that comment's probably why I read the wrong thing in the article in the paper.
Made it sound like you.
Right,
Pump
yeah.
the underpass.
It made it sound like the wrong pump was out, but anyway.
Yeah, like our company.
Right.
Which it
Yeah. All right, so Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes,
and yes from me. All right, next thing is communications. I don't have a ton of communications. The biggest thing, I guess, is COVID-19. You know, today was either the first day or the second day of phase one. I know all the county employees went back today. All of the town employees went back today. At a village level, our DPW and our wastewater plant, our police, EMS, and fire are all essential. So they've been working. We thank them. The clerk's office has been doing, there's 3 people here, so they've been doing 1 day each, coming in the office to keep it open for all the hours. We're going to keep doing that because the other 2 that aren't here are successfully working from home, so no real reason to have a risk. If you need to come into any of the clerk's office or the DPW, you can knock on the door, call, email, make an appointment, that kind of thing. Somebody will meet you there and get whatever you need done. It's permits or notary or payments or whatever. Find a way to get it done. That's about, I mean, from a village level, that's about what we're doing. Trying to keep everybody safe. I guess I can do my DRI little speech right now. So we got an email that Nate actually sent us from the Department of Budget at the New York State level, basically saying, hold up, we don't know what's going on as far as budgets go, revenues go, state grants, that kind of thing. So I emailed every one of our contacts that we have state grants through. A little synopsis. Our DPW municipal building, that money comes from federal money, so that's okay. It's okay to keep proceeding. The DRI, Julie Sweet's email says that we should proceed and send out the RFP, which is ready to be sent out. And she doesn't think that any of the DRI money will be not there because it's already committed, but she couldn't say that 100% yet. So we shouldn't award a contract off of that RFP, is where I'm going on that, but we can submit it anyway to get bids. And then our wastewater grants are okay as well because they're essential grants. So as far as the disinfection project and all that. So that's what I got back on those. Does anybody else have anything? Did I get anything?
Not on the DRI, but on the openings. Do you know if the Department of Motor Vehicles is going to be open?
I think they're open by appointment, is what I've heard. Oh, Rodney asked if they're having a fair. I haven't heard anything about the fair. So obviously the Strawberry Fest they canceled. But we haven't heard. Yeah, I don't know. I know they canceled the state fair. I haven't heard much about the Tioga County Fair, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I did have another communication. So WEBO, our radio station here, they're hosting normally Memorial Day we do a big ceremony downtown, a parade, all that kind of stuff. So instead of doing the parade and the ceremony, they are doing the ceremony on the radio. And they're looking for people to help sponsor that ceremony on the radio to prevent the mass gathering. So sponsoring it is only $125. So I told them I'd bring it up to you guys. My idea is that we do sponsor it. We take that money out of our training line item that we normally would have went to NICOM last week with. They canceled.
Sagamore,
yeah. They postponed it and then they outright just canceled it. So
I would be on board with that.
all right. So I'll make a motion to sponsor that.
are they looking for
I'll
multiple
second it.
sponsors?
Yeah, no, I think the town did it as well. I don't know who else.
Are they going to provide like an outline of what they're going to do as far as radio event?
Yeah, they've been promoting it. I heard it today, but they're going to have the same ceremony they have downtown on the radio. So they're going to come read all the names and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
So $125, yeah.
Yeah, I
I know
second
they have
that.
they have a lot of local businesses on board with that now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, so should we vote on that? Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes,
Charles,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
and yes for me. So that'll be a good thing. So, or we can listen in instead of gathering around the courthouse square. It'll be a little different, but it's the times we're in, I guess, right now. All right. Does anybody have anything else for communications? All right. So next item is trustee reports. Laura?
And no report today. Thank you.
Okay. Fran?
No, I don't have a report, but I do have a question for Laura. Is the Concert in the Parks program going to proceed at Hickory's?
So far the word is that we will not probably be able to have any large gatherings of any kind anywhere, and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like I don't know about the fireworks, but the bands, the Kirby band will not be able to meet. They can't meet to practice. The age considerations of all the members and stuff. It looks to be that everything, the money hasn't come in and everything's delayed. So I would say it looks like it's just going to get called off. I don't
That's
think
too
there's an
bad.
alternative for that, even for the bands to be able to play and do an alternative production. It looks like it's just going to get, unfortunately, pushed off for this year.
That's too bad.
All right. Anything else, Fran?
No, nothing else.
All right. Ron?
I had a couple of meetings with BCA and things regarding the sewer department, but other than that, I've got nothing.
Okay. Charles?
No, I don't have any report. I just want to say that I think maybe we should stress the fact to our residents still the importance of wearing masks in public. I mean, if that's what we're supposed to be doing, I think we still should be doing that because I believe because everyone thinks everything is opening back up, that it's all business as usual, which all you have to do is look at the news and the death rate is still going up. And it's common sense that more people go out there, and contrary to what we have been doing, there's going to be a lot more cases. And we just don't need that happening here. I don't know what they're doing in other places, but it seems like people are coming out in droves, and we have a crowd, you have the potential of spreading. I don't think it's over. I really don't want to be a part of the test subjects that are going out there. I'd like to lay back and see what happens. It may sound, I don't mean to sound like I'm being mean or anything, but I just don't trust it. I mean, that's my opinion, and I'm going to keep on doing what I need to do. I don't need our president telling me that it's time to go out there and mingle. I'm going to use common sense, and I hope a lot of our residents also extend that common sense usage in this time. We're not out of the woods by far. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I know I've gotten some feedback, I guess, about the masks. And just a reminder, there's only a couple people on the call here, but a lot of people watch this on YouTube after. Any business can make any rule they want to make about coming in or shopping at their establishment, right? They could say it's pink shirt day, you got to have a pink shirt on to come in. So just, be courteous to all the businesses and what signs they got up and all that kind of thing. They're just doing what they gotta do, you know.
Well, hasn't Governor Cuomo said that we should still be using masks?
As far as I know, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of people are not going to do that because they don't like Cuomo
Yeah,
or they don't like Trump.
Governor.
All you have to do is love life, love your neighbor, and do
I
the
guess
right thing.
my thing is just, try and be kind to the people working at the stores. It's not they're not the ones setting the rules in general. And hopefully, all of our small businesses can get back open as soon as they can get open. Curbside pickup or whatever, however they figure out how to safely do it. All right, anything else, Charles? You good?
I'm good.
All right,
Everybody stay safe.
Rusty?
Continued thank you to all the village employees and volunteers, and especially to the EMS who are right on the front lines. Thank you, EMS.
Yes, bless them.
All right. We got everybody? Yep. All right, next thing is the mayor's report. Let's see what I got. What did I do? We had an OHPC meeting. That went well. We had various calls with NICOM about COVID-19 and how it's going to affect everything as far as budget-wise. No real answers yet, besides we'll see. State funding could be an issue. Luckily, we don't bank a whole lot on that, but a little bit. And then we reviewed the treasurer's report and the EMS reports, billing reports. That's what I did the last couple of weeks. That's about it, really. And let's see, the last thing is public comment. Anybody? No. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. The next meeting is June 1st. So what we will plan to do, and this obviously could change, we will, if you are comfortable, the board can meet over at our normal spot, figure out a way to arrange a table so we're far enough apart from each other, and then we'll stream it live for the public. So we'll be technically closed to the public. They can participate online, but we'll meet together because we're gonna have to go through budget stuff at that next meeting.
So that will be a regular meeting / budget workshop meeting.
Or we'll schedule a budget workshop, but that's how we'll do those, kind of move forward. So, and you can get on here and participate this way if you want to too. So if you don't feel like coming in person, but I know this can be challenging. We've had a bunch of these. So as things open back up, we'll kind of phase back to a normal meeting the way we phased out of a normal meeting. So
I'll wear my mask.
yeah, it should be phase 2 by then. So everybody will have a haircut and everything.
Get a new job.
Yeah, Ron, I got one last night. I'm making use of my $20 price check for
Scissors?
ear clips. Gotta use the guard.
Move to adjourn.
All right.
A second.
Okay. Everybody in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now we can do all the chit chat after we've adjourned. We don't have to